hello again. Another afternoon of running around and just doing random things. But today, just decided to get out of the house, go for a ride around, put some bike gas on the bike, and just think of random thoughts today. So, no errands this time, ironically. Didn't do any maintenance on the bike today, or this week. Do need to clean the windshield, apparently. Got home late last night and didn't realize how dirty it really was. So, anyway. On my time off, I like to watch random shows and anime and whatnot. I came across a show yesterday that was interesting, so I started watching it. I realized how some things in the show just kind of related to my own mentality towards things. Not everything in it, but I think it was called Kino's Journey is the show itself. But essentially it's a little girl, as an anime, probably someone about high school age, because that's about everything they always make. But she's traveling around on a motorcycle, just a little cruiser. It's a British remake, something, I don't remember what it was directly, but they're traveling around, and it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic idea where there's magic, sort of, not really magician style, but Wild West ideas, things like that. So she carries 2 guns, some knives, not afraid to kill someone if they deem necessary. Well, what's interesting is for some reason in this show, motorcycles specifically can talk. They're self-aware. They don't. It looks like a part of a motorcycle right there. It is. Looks like someone's back strap there. Interesting. Someone lost their luggage rack on the back of a bike. Anyway. So, she has this bike. I think it's called Hermes. And it can talk. It doesn't, it's not self-driving or self-starting, anything like that I've noticed. But it is self-aware and can make conversation and discuss things. Kind of like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like you ever talk to your motorcycle and wonder what it thinks, if it could think, and what you believe in it. I mean, hell, I named this one Pandora because I sit there and find her beautiful and always feels like she's a Pandora's box of issues every time I open her up. But that's just me and how I react with her. But also with motorcycle riding, you're always, what else is out there? What do you want to change? What do you want to, do to your bike? What do you want to do in general in riding? Do you just want to cruise like this? Do you want to take dirt roads like over there? Do you want to go fast, which is not this road? Sport bikes? Do you just want to ride to travel, or any of those things? And it kind of registered in the show. There was this one town, the main character just going town to town, spends like 3 days in each town. And each town has its own kind of quirks and ideas and designs and this, mentality of what's right and wrong. And their own king, basically. Hello, truck. But this one town was founded by a traveler similar to Kino, and the main founder had been dead for however many years, I don't remember. But the motorcycle that the founder rode on was there in the museum, and the caretaker's like, oh yeah, we have mechanics that take care of the bike on everything that possibly ever be needed. The bike is fully operational, could be ridden at any time. but the founder is gone. So the bike has no rider anymore. And the bike refused to talk to anyone of the town. So the main character and their motorcycle are sitting in there with the motorcycle, with this bike. And they asked the caretaker if they could walk away for a second while they talk to him. And the bike is like, I guess, it looks like a KLR is literally what it looks like. Just this adventure touring bike of an older design. And it's supposed to be like 300 years old. Again, kind of a joke to a KLR. And they talk to the bike to see if it will respond back, and it does. And the bike is like, literally says, I'm in hell right now. Like, I want to be, like, I'm a motorcycle. I should be out on the road. I should be taking adventures. I don't belong on this, locked up in a room that doesn't even go outside. No one ever rides it anymore. And the bike asks the main character, like, can you please take me away from this place? And the other motorcycle's like, no, this is my, like, if you'd go with them, I can't go anywhere, so, like, this is my bike, or my rider, you can't have them. And then the bike was like, I would rather be destroyed into pieces, please put me out of my misery. And the main character's like, I would help you, but I can't, because then your town would probably try to do the same to me and make me put in pieces because I destroyed you. So every town has its quirk in this show, and they all sit there and try to do things. And at the end of in the part of the season, like that, as the person was leaving because he stayed in town only a couple days, this kid asks them, goes, hey, like, I want to become a traveler too. How would you do it? Or how do I suggest doing it? And they're like, well, each person has their own, hi truck, I guess we're not going fast enough for you. Everyone has their own style for travel and adventure. Like, you need to figure out your own. But gave the child a hint to go, like, why don't you go to the museum and talk to the founder's bike and see if it responds to you, and tell it your dreams and see what happens. And they didn't go anywhere further than that, so they didn't say, like, if this kid decided to do that. I'm sure they did afterwards, but whether or not the motorcycle, it sounded old, was like wanted to get out on the road again, because that's where it believes it should always be, is on the road, not stuck in a room. But that kind of hit me in a different way, because there's a part of me that wants to get, one or two more bikes for myself. And it's like, okay, well, what disservice am I doing to these vehicles? Of how much would I be able to ride each one of them? I love this motorcycle. Beautiful. Takes me to work. I can put gear in it. Got luggage on it. Has decent gas mileage. It's very comfortable. But there's a part of me that wants to take these dirt roads, like over here and over there. And I don't want to do that to this motorcycle. So what I want a dual sport. And then how often could I take that dual sport out? My wife wants to get into track days and have a sport bike. Or she has a sport bike, But, like, this bike doesn't really keep up with the sport bike very well. It can, as long as she's being logical on her speeds. And if I get my abilities up better. But do I want a sport touring bike? But is that sport touring really what I feel the love of compared to this touring bike? And right now I'm nowhere near, like, let's see, 54,000 miles on this bike right now. I think I put 20,000 of those miles on her. I want to see this bike get to 100,000 miles, as long as my capabilities of maintaining and her capabilities of operating are together. That's what I'd love to see her do. So it just made that that episode kind of hit me in a way of like, it's like, oh, how would I want to pertain things? Would I want a Pan America that could technically do everything like that? Kind of the jack of all trades. Oh, cattle. A jack of all trades bike, master of none, kind of thing. Or would I want to have multiple bikes in the garage that would be like, oh, today I'm taking this one out, and would I take one out every time? I mean, right now this bike gets ridden quite a bit because the weather's decent enough. I can do it in Phoenix and go to work, and I drive about 80 to 100 miles a day going to and from work. And then on my days off sometimes I go out like this, and other times there's things around the house I have to get done, or if I have to go somewhere or help someone else and have to use another vehicle for it. So it just makes me wonder. But things that don't have finances for now anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. But I wouldn't mind having a dirt bike, or not dirt bike, but like a dual sport. There's a part of me that thought of like a small dual sport. I think Honda just came out with like a little 150, even though I'm a very heavy person. And I don't know how that bike would support my weight. But it also means if it's such a light bike, if I'm only going roads that are, 40 miles an hour top speed, that I can get around to get out to something like this, then maybe that's worthwhile. Or would I want to do like a full adventure bike, like a KLR will do it. It's not as expensive as like the BMW GS or a Pan America, but they're great on highway, but the off-road part of it, they'll do it. I just need to get my skills up, even though I've never been on dirt before. Do I want to take a $20,000 motorcycle on dirt for the first time? Don't know. But it's just weird how, like, seeing that show just made me put things in a different perspective and made me wonder what would be best for me. And that humanization that you put on things, like I, sit there and talk to my bike when I'm bored. Or when every time I get off, or tell her thanks for the great ride. But that's just me. Guess the question is, how are you on yours? Anyway. So, enjoying the cooler days while we still have them. It was actually pretty chilly the other day. It was like 39 degrees on my way to work. I'm like, man, why was it so cold? And I looked at the weather. I'm like, oh shit. It was a cold morning. So, enjoying them while they're under 100. See how it goes later on. But with that, I will finish this ride. You guys be safe and have fun. Until next time.